Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day. So it's John here with Just Thoughts. I hope that you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Basically, I've been out learning as much information as I can, and basically, trying to, generate some good content for you, so that you can be able to appreciate all the information that I'm trying to bring to you, the viewers, the listeners, and so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So today, basically, what I wanted to talk about is making sure that we're analyzing our political system from different levels, right? So traditionally, when you're trying to look at how our political system operates and how our political system mixes in basically with the general public and how it's able to create some of the change for those that are, unaware, usually what I do is I try to look at it from different levels, right? So we'll start with the community level, right? So every city basically has like a commerce center, and the commerce center basically operates with the city ordinances and the power structures that the cities have, right? And this creates good systems and good communities, and they're able to be more tightly bounded due to the fact that everybody's basically on the same page about how the city should be operating, right? And then after you go from the city level, then you go more towards the state level. And from the state level, you have most of the organizations that are basically trying to help out the individual cities, and some of the systems and the state laws are beneficial in being able to create some of that change that the federal system basically hasn't caught up with, right? Like, so if I'm not mistaken, we either pass or it's on the ballot for us to create legislation for not only medicinal but also recreational marijuana. So as I've mentioned before on this, podcast, basically, I do not condone any type of drug use, but I do see it as a progressive movement for us to be aware that a lot of states are deciding that they wanted to take the situations into their own hands and to be able to pass that legislation, and the federal government is finally catching up with it, right? So all of those systems, I think, would be extremely helpful if we are able to look at it, from a higher sky view, right? Like, imagine if we had, all of the states that have decided to, pass legislation on, like a, for recreational and medicinal marijuana. What if they decided that they wanted to do something like a basic health care, right? What if we had multiple states that decided that they don't want to have a situation where, so many people are being able to, go without the correct health care due to the fact that they don't have the correct resources or they weren't born into the correct environment, right? And I think that if we started thinking like that, the federal government would absolutely have to do something about creating some of those changes, right? And the same thing goes with a basic income or a basic tuition. Those are some of the things that I truly believe would create equality amongst the starting line that people have in life. And if we can focus our attention on what we can do to create legislation and policy so that we can equalize the starting line in life, I think everything else basically it helps everything else, right? It helps with the education systems. It helps with making sure that crime rates are down, and make sure that people have adequate sustenance so that they're able to live decent lives and they don't have to go into desperation systems that actually affects the human psychology. And then the human psychology, due to the fact that the human psychology is affected, it makes it more difficult to be able to make correct choices. If you can't make correct choices, that basically creates a ripple effect in the rest of your life. And we have to be aware of those systems. So creating equality amongst the starting lines, absolutely important, right? And the next thing is basically we have candidates over in Georgia, right? I really want you to pay attention to the candidates in Georgia. I think that they have serious potential in being able to create some of the change that I just spoke on. And if we can focus our attention right now over in Georgia, I truly believe we'll be able to create some of that change. So thank you for seeing the video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and contact me and donate.